All right, this is 2, 2, 4 heights and areas. So we talked about on a triangle, the area formula is base times height divided by 2, okay? But we need to make sure we know which one is the base and which one is the height. Okay, if you remember from last lesson, what we talked about is that the base and height need to be perpendicular. Must be perpendicular. Which means they make a 90-degree angle, okay? So if we, for this triangle, thought our base was going to be 4, then our height would have to be drawn in like this. So that would be our height. However, if we thought that our base was the 6, then again our height would need to be perpendicular, make a 90-degree. And then if our height was 5, that would have to be drawn in perpendicular. Our height would be there, okay? Oh, I guess I should have done those on different triangles, but you get the point, okay? So some different options there. We're going to draw a triangle where the height is inside the triangle, okay? So we could make this triangle right here. Let's say our base is 6 and our height inside the triangle would look like this. Okay, and let's just say that's 4. Where the height is a side of the triangle. Okay, so that would be a right triangle. So that's the height, here's the base. And then a triangle where the height is outside the triangle. Okay, so that might look like this, where our base is here and our height might be drawn outside perpendicularly. Okay, so what they recommend for drawing our base is if our base is not on the bottom, they recommend rotating it so that it is on the bottom. Then they recommend drawing the related rectangle. Okay, so making your triangle into a rectangle and then drawing the height. Okay, and that's just a little recommendation for us. They want to know the height of the triangle. Okay, so here we weren't given the height, so the height would have to be perpendicular. So it could be inside the triangle. Okay, we could maybe draw it outside the triangle. It doesn't really matter as long as the height does make a right angle with the base. Okay, see how all of those are the same? It doesn't matter where we put it. Here, it seems that the height is already a part of the triangle. If this is the base, okay, if we follow the recommendations and we rotate it, we could do that, or you could just move your paper sideways and we could draw a right angle. That's a little too big there. Maybe we could draw a line perpendicular to our base inside the triangle. Or if we wanted to do it outside the triangle, those could be heights as well. If this is the base, here's our height. Or we could draw the height over here. Okay? All right, for the triangle below, draw all the possible heights. Okay, if this was the base, this could be a height. If this was the base, okay, if this is the base, then the height could be right here. And then if the other one, if this was the base, then the height would be like that. Okay. Summarize how to find the area of each of the following shapes. We've got a triangle that is base times height divided by 2, and the base and height, that's spelled wrong, height must be perpendicular. For a rectangle, just the base and the height. And again, those usually make a 90-degree angle. A parallelogram, that's the base and the height. Base times height, base times height. And then for the trapezoid, it's the height times base 1 plus base 2, all divided by 2. Okay, so we're going to check our understanding here. Here the base is going to be 16 plus 8, so 24, and then the height is perpendicular, 14, so 24 times 14 equals 336, but then we have to divide that by 2 because it's base times height divided by 2. So that's going to be 168 meters squared. Okay, this one, the base is 2.5, the height is 6 because they make a right angle. So 6 times 2.5 divided by 2, that's 7.5 centimeters squared. Here with our trapezoid, our height is 6, so height, base 1, base 2, so using our formula, 6 times 13 plus 6 divided by 2 is going to be 57 centimeters squared. And then here we have base of 4, height of 8, so 32 centimeters squared. Moving on to medium trapezoid, so base 1, base 2, height. Again, it doesn't matter which base is which. 8 times 13 plus 7 divided by 2 is going to be 80. Another trapezoid here, okay, the base and base, and then the height, so height, base 1, base 2, even though it's on its side, okay, so 8.5 times 7 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 42.5. And then here, parallelogram, our base is 6, our height is 8, those make a 90-degree angle, so 6 times 8, 48 centimeters squared. All right, and then finally, spicy, this is the same problem, so 80 centimeters squared. This triangle, again, the base and height have to be perpendicular, so this one's the base, this one's the height. So the base is 32 plus 9, so 41 times 18 divided by 2. That is 369 inches squared. This triangle, the base is 6, the height is 5. 6 times 5 divided by 2 is 15 centimeters squared. And then this parallelogram here, base is 12, height is 10. 10 times 12 is 120.